Well, yeah, there are some people who try to be, there are some people who try to be cuter than what is already extremely cute in this, and there are some people who take the darkest of the show, and they consider this as the cute part and make.
Did you want to get started? Does you want to get started?
Okay, I guess we'll get started before they. Yeah.
Let's get started.
So yeah, I think the best way to get started is to actually introduce ourselves. My name is Alexandre Bellefeuille, but I'm mostly known as Playerdotexe.
My name is Julien Safar, and I'm mostly known with as Juju from the Project.com website blog.
And I'm DJMidli, DJ on Everfree Network, and also occasional guest DJ for PBFM, Ponyville FM.
So yeah, what we have right now is that we have 3 parts of the fandom. A fan artist and a fan animation creator. He's a programmer, and we have a DJ.
So I'll
and
cover all
a convention planner.
Well, I also am the con-chair for Trottawa, former con-chair for Canterlot, former social media manager for BronyCon, former social media manager for Fiesta Equestria, and yeah, I think I've got all of the pony conventions I've worked for, which has been a lot.
You did quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, in the 3 of us, you're the most active in fandom. So
Not so much anymore, largely because real life caught up, but used to be.
Yeah,
we're all like,
yeah, that damn thing called, just graduated, need to find a job.
So I guess we can start with the obvious. How we actually got to meet the cute ponies and to become fans of the show and to be part of fandom itself. Because we all have our little stories. Some people just found out on the internet, and some people were simply dragged in. So, yeah, as I just mentioned it, I could actually tell. Okay, this story is a bit ridiculous. I actually knew about the show since 2011, but the actual thing is that I thought it was mostly a joke because I saw a lot of young people, shows for a young audience being mentioned there really, and I just thought, okay, this is just one of these shows that people will simply make fun of and just appreciate as they are. I saw some footage from Fighting is Magic, just thought, okay, they made some kind of joke, and okay, it's a funny one. It's funny to see ponies just beating the shit out of each other, and I just had a laugh, until I found out my best friend was a brony. He had the figurines of the show, and then just, okay, this is really serious. And he told me that yes, and after a while I decided to tell myself, okay, maybe you could watch an episode or 2 to just see if it's actually something for you. And I had some feelings that it would be, and I was right. I decided to watch the 2 first episodes of the show that were Friendship is Magic Part 1 and 2, and actually liked it. I just found that it was, it had its cute moments and its dark moments, and it actually managed to just get me inside of the show because I just felt that the characters were interesting and that I just wanted to see more about them. They were not just bland characters that you didn't have to care about. So I continued watching the show as my parents were in Germany, and just the fact that I didn't have to worry about the internet bill. I just watched all the episodes one after another, and I had a lot of fun watching it. And after a while, I would just ask myself, does that make me a brony? Just asking myself, am I now a brony now that I watched it? and just after a while, I decided, okay, I want to be a part of the fandom. I must do something. And I just happened to be a fan animator since the very beginning. I was working on Yuki Story, fan animation based on Super Mario Bros. That was really stupid. But I had some knowledge of Flash, and I decided to just try something with ponies. And yeah, that's just how I joined the fandom. I went to my first Brony convention about a year ago, and I think that's the spark that made me a Brony. Because the only thing that I considered, well, just Brony, I thought it was just something that is used as a word to describe a fan of the show, but just the interaction with all the other, that little spark inside of me that just made me want to see more and more and more, and just really liked it.
Yeah. Further? Yeah, so yeah, my story, yeah, so it's also began somewhat around 2011, and yeah, I saw that I follow a lot of pages on Facebook and a lot of stuff, and I saw police swarm all over the Facebook, all over my timeline, and I was like, yet no guitar for yeah. That was at first get an author fortunately, but yeah. At first I was like, what the hell is that? Arcade race, as usual. And then I just kind of liked it, but I wasn't really in it until at the time I'm still part of that programming forum, and there was a thread about my little pony, and yeah, I looked up the member were in it, and I was like, why not do I? I was an admin on that forum, and yeah, that was a lot of drama between those who like it and those who hate it, and yeah, we banned one of our long-time member on that thread, and we forget about it on about 6 months, and then I was like, yeah, I like the topic, and yes.
Je vous ai dit, tout le monde qui sont en train de faire le tour du week-end, ils vont avoir le tournoi de cosplay à 11h dans la salle du magazine.
On n'est pas intéressé.
On a un panel comme ça.
Comment?
On a un Project Thundercloud II qui se passe au même moment.
Mais c'est pas ça que je m'intéressais. C'est au moins intéressant.
Ok, pourquoi tu nous regardais?
Parce que je vous dis des accros, et je me demande si l'instincteur est un homme contondant légal.
C'est pas contondant parce que la définition de contondant, c'est les pointus puis de
Contondant, pointu.
C'est une masse.
masse.
Ouais.
Oh, lien.
Je pense que c'est ça. Je vous laisse avec eux autres. Bonne chance.
So yeah, well, as I was saying, after 6 months, someone on the IRC mentioned it again, and I was like, that member, that the person member is banned, and I unlocked the topic, and yeah, we went there. I were, oh my god, goldies. And then I became a pro. And sometime later in summer 2012, I found that there was a special on the main name on name C, and I was like, oh, yeah, I heard that the main name at 98 cents. but I don't know what they say. Brownies juice. There was a website too called Candy Juicy, and I was like, yeah, I was like, I thought about it, and yeah, browniesjuicy.com. That's all. And I bought it, and I liked it during a month, and I was like, what I can do with that? Well, I'll put a WordPress on it and tell stuff about what happened in Quebec about the brownies, and I spread it a little. I mean, I publicize it on some other brownies Quebec page and whatever, and that's where I discovered that there was a strong community in Quebec, and that's where was the second spark about my browniness, and yeah, the Quebec Brownies, the Facebook group has like 4,000 members plus 4,006 no 400
Yeah.
sorry 469 members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4,000 seems a bit high.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah,
we're not
we're
4,000.
expecting a lot of people, but yeah,
Not that much.
our expectations are a bit high for the moment.
I don't think we'll ever be 4,000. So, yeah.
With
Yeah.
me, I started in around November 2010. I was seeing people post all of these pony videos and stuff, and a lot of my friends were old people that I knew from 4chan, or they were just into internet culture. So I have a lot of friends in the internet culture. So all these videos, someone posted Ponycraft 2, and I'm like, it's a StarCraft 2 trailer. Okay, fine, I'll take a look at whatever this stupid thing is. I watched it, and I was like, okay, they just did a StarCraft 2 parody trailer with ponies, and they were actually able to find dark enough scenes to kind of do a pretty decent StarCraft 2 trailer montage mashup. I'm like, okay, so I'll give this show a shot. I watched Call of the Cutie, which is one of the episodes about the Cutie Mark Crusaders trying for their cutie marks. It was one of the first ones. Really kind of chintzy episode. It was basically, My Little Pony does an episode on puberty. And I was like, okay, I actually kind of like this. So I went back and watched the first episode, the second, and I marathoned until I had watched all the episodes that had come out, which at that point was about 10 or so, and then went to work with like an hour of sleep. At the time, I was living in a really kind of depressing, dark house. There was a lot of drug use and a lot of other bad stuff with my roommates, and I was generally a depressed person. Watched ponies, kind of had a better outlook on life, was like, I need to get myself out of this, so I got myself out of the situation. As it was going along, we were noticing on Equestria Daily, this friend of mine, Scott, and I noticed that there were 4 people that had made postings on the Equestria Daily ponies around the world. Basically, take a picture of yourself with a pony, and we're like, wait, there's at least 4 bronies here in Ottawa that we know of. Okay, let's start the Ottawa Bronies. So we founded the Ottawa Bronies, Scott and I. That carried through. I'm no longer president or doing anything with the Ottawa Bronies. It basically was just too much for me to manage, so I just kind of stepped back and let others run it. I did also, when I came to Algonquin College, I was like, well, I'm running the Ottawa Bronies, going here, may as well start up the Algonquin Bronies. So we were one of the first college clubs certified for My Little Pony across Canada and probably across North America as well. I've been a DJ since before I was into My Little Pony. I'd been doing anime convention DJs for about a year and a half prior to My Little Pony coming along. So when I started getting into My Little Pony and started to understand the whole, there's like a whole bunch of guys just like me that enjoy My Little Pony. So I got to Equestria Daily and all of that, and I learned about all the music people were producing. So it was a no-brainer for me, having DJ'd in the convention scene prior a year and a half. Oh, well, you know, I'm DJing already. These bronies are producing some really amazing music. So I started DJing My Little Pony music. And also, at that point, I was also writing fan fiction too, which is really weird. I was like, oh, everyone's writing fan fiction. I'll write fan fiction, ha ha ha. And then through the fan fiction chat, I got in touch with this guy called Midget Brony, who wanted to start up his own radio station. Him and I, mostly him, but you know, I was one of the rostered DJs, started up Brony Radio, and I DJ'd on and off on Brony Radio. Needed to step back because I was moving in and moving into a new house and getting ready for college, so I had to step back. After first semester of college, I get a message from One Trick of Mixology on EFN who's like, hey, Midli, I've heard some of your stuff. I really like you. Can you come on and do a show on Mixology? And then I did a show on Mixology because I was excited for it. Because I'm like, it's Everfree Network, the biggest friggin' Brony radio station ever, and started DJing there. I've been DJing ever since. That's about 2013, I think. I started DJing, late 2012, early 2013. Kept going. In between there, people in Ottawa wanted to start their own convention, so I started Trottawa. I got involved with BronyCan, and then from BronyCan I met other conchairs, and Fiesta Equestria pulled me in for social media management, and just everyone once you've got a network in the Brony community, you'll find you'll get pulled into all of these various projects, and there's a lot of projects, especially now, that I've had to turn down. I have, hey, can you help us run social media for this? Hey, can you help me out? I really like your DJ voice on Everfree Network. I want you to do some voice acting work for my show thing, or can you do a fanfiction reading for me? And I've been like, I'd love to, but I can't because I'm too busy with real life stuff. So that's pretty much my Brony story, from here to there,
Yeah. Well, first of all, what I just noticed, just you mentioned that you came across the show much earlier than the two of us. So yeah, what I realized with the show is that there's actually 3 generations of bronies that happen to been made. There's you at the very, very beginning.
I'd actually put you guys in with me because I'd put anyone with the 2010, because 2010. Because it came out in October 2010. So anyone who came in kind of October, November, December, January, February, maybe March, that first 5-month span, I'd say that's the first wave. And then after the summer, we got a second wave, and then somewhere along there, we got a third wave. And the third wave is kind of iffy, but there was definitely a second wave after the summer.
Well,
I put you guys in with the first wave.
I probably put the third wave just after Alicorn Twilight. Because it's the most shocking thing of the entire fandom, which tells a lot because we had a lot of drama.
Yeah.
We're not the only one to have drama in our lives and all that stuff, but this is probably because we have some culture just praising the drama, or we just have a lot more stuff happening at the same time, but
Or maybe it's just the internet.
Or maybe it's just because, or maybe we're bored because of that.
I think it's more the culture of tolerance in the Brony community, that because people are so tolerant, they're not willing to step up. When someone does something wrong, they're not willing to step up and confront the person about it because they're being non-confrontational. I know in the Ottawa Bronies, as an admin, I had to be confrontational with people, and the biggest shock for me was when one of our male members threatened to rape her, and I was like, okay, take a look at the chat log's valid. I ban him, just instantly. I'm like, you're done, you're out, I'm banning you permanently, because that's just way effed up. And I had 5 people from within the Ottawa Bronies coming up to me and being like, you shouldn't have confronted him, you shouldn't have done that. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He just threatened to rape someone, and you guys are like, I shouldn't have done that, I overreacted by banning him permanently? No, and I think there needs to come a time in the brony culture where bronies stick up for what is right and actually confront the bad eggs in the fandom, because if they don't, we're just, the negative opinion in general about bronies is just going to continue. But yeah, that's an aside.
So yeah, I was talking about the 3 ways. There's the very, very first way. What we have to think is, did they have something to start with? If we consider that the brony who was just starting to become a brony, became one by himself by just watching the show and then finding out that there were other bronies, or just the fact that there was no brony network available, I think it would be the first one. Yeah. Because after this one, just the 2 first seasons, the show was it kind of became self-aware of its own fandom, but not to the point of what happened in season 3 onward, with all the interaction between the show members and us. Well, all the stuff that is said on Twitter by
I think around that season 3 was where I think the show staff, for whatever reason, had kind of been somewhat reserved, like in 2011 and through to 2012. And it wasn't really until just after BronyCon 2012 that you kind of saw the show staff being like, you know what, let's just interact with these bronies. Because then, like right after BronyCon 2012, so the one that was in Secaucus, New Jersey, that was where you started to see staff and voice actors just randomly interacting with bronies over Twitter, whereas before they kind of were like, we know they're there, but we're not really sure what's going on.
Well, there's another event that happened around the same time with Lauren's departure of the show.
Right.
And Megan McCarthy just going to take the charge. And could it be because of that? Because she tried to interact with the audience to tell Don't Worry that it's going to keep the same quality it had and just keep them loyal.
Yeah. That would actually make sense. The interaction came about as a result of bronies being like, Lauren Faust isn't here, oh my goodness. So then all the voice acting, no guys, it's okay, don't worry. Because I remember that was when Daniel Ingram really started being like, don't worry guys, I'm still there, you're still gonna have awesome music, and we all know how music's a big part of the show. And Megan McCarthy was like, I'm a great writer, I've done all this previous work, we're in good hands. And then the whole Lauren Faust will be on as a consultant.
Season 2 as a consultant. And she had actually no interaction at all in season 3.
By season 3 she was out.
And there are some TV shows that happen to have their main creator just kicked out, or it already happened a few times, but here's a bit different.
Yeah.
And she said herself that she regrets that it had to happen, but I have to say that it's something we didn't want to see, and we're all sad to see that.
Yeah.
But what happened with Megan McCarthy taking the lead? She did an excellent job keeping. There's a lot of TV shows that went downward with all the stuff, and all the signs that these show had are nowhere to be found in season 3 and 4. Even if season 3, some people didn't like it for a lot of reasons that were just stupid, like for example Sombra. Because just Sombra. So a lot of people considered him as a very, very boring antagonist. It's true.
Well, the issue with that was he didn't have any speaking lines outside of like
crystals.
That kind of adds a bit to the creepy factor that he's just this omnipotent cloud. But I think if you had maybe one line of your crystal empire will fall.
Yeah.
That would have given him at least some characterization.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that charitable as a
But
character.
if you consider he was written as a threat rather than an antagonist, it
Yeah.
still gets a lot of because he has less screen time than Yak.
Yeah, I mean, Tirek, for example, look at what they did with him. Yes, I mean, there's a whole thing with Tirek. Tirek was originally a Generation 1 villain, and they brought him back, but he actually had full fleshed out characterization, was a pretty evil villain, and plus we got that interesting backstory with his brother. Discord plays a part in there, and all that fun stuff.
That was great.
So I wish they had done something like they did with Tirek, maybe half of what they did with Tirek, and done that with Sombra, and it would have been a much better villain.
Yeah.
Well,
What the problem with season 3 it was only 13
Yeah.
episodes and
yeah,
they didn't have much time.
yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, well, they were also at the time the reason they had the 13 episodes is because they were working on
On the movie.
which is really funny
Yeah.
because I knew it was a movie a long time ago because we were talking with. It wasn't Daniel. We were talking. BronyCan staff were talking with one of the voice actors, and he was just da 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 da. Yeah, and I mean, with BronyCan, I can't wait because you guys will be able to like see the movie and we're all just like, and he's like, oh my God, I need you guys to sign NDAs. I need all 3 of you to sign NDAs. And we're like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, oh my God, oh my goodness, can all 3 of you please sign non-disclosure agreements? So 3 of the BronyCan staff signed non-disclosure agreements with, I keep thinking it was Danny Ingram, but I know it wasn't Danny Ingram because he could have, anyway, it was one of the male VAs, so we all had to sign non-disclosure
Peter New.
agreements. Yeah, it might have been Peter New, I can't remember. I
He
believe
took her.
Oh yeah, Lee, yeah, because Lee is
Yeah,
Lee. God,
yeah. Well, he was at Kendra and yeah,
he's a party animal.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And to think that he works on the TV show for kids.
In the contract, we were to get him. Was it? I don't know if it was in the contract or not. All I remember is the first thing he said when he arrived was, "Where's the closest beer store?" And I had to explain to Lee about how LCBO and all this, and I'm like, "There's one down here." And he's like, "Cool, okay. Can you like show me the way?" So him and his assistant and I went to the LCBO to get him alcohol. That was a whoa, and when I saw him at Fiesta Equestria, he's like walking around the hall with an alcohol in hand, like a little mixed drink in hand. A lot of the VAs were because it was Texas, so you could walk around with a beer in the hotel and no one cared. America. So yeah. America. Yeah, Lee is quite the party animal.
Oh, well, yeah. The thing with the show staff is that, well, not exactly party, just they like a lot to have social interaction.
Yes, especially at conventions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost got a bro from Emil Larson.
Oh,
Almost.
almost.
Yeah, he was about this from yeah.
The interesting thing about that and what is it? That I was when I landed for Fiesta Equestria, the voice actor for Brayburn, not Danger, is it Dangerfield? Mike Dangerfield?
I have no idea.
Yeah, the voice actor for Brayburn was at the airport waiting to be picked up. I ended up being driven with the voice actor for Brayburn and he actually really likes Toronto. Like, he's like, yeah, I've been to raves in Toronto, crazy techno parties. They were awesome. And I was just like, sorry, what? You're like, oh, right, of course, you're a person. You, like, go and do things. It was just really weird to be like, yeah, they just, go out, rave. It's actually really down to earth. And, like, he just carried a conversation with me in the car. It wasn't like some of the anime convention VAs that I've seen where if I happened to be in them, they'd be like, can't believe I'm being driven by some random, community guest. I'm gonna shut up and not talk. And whereas Brayburn was just like, oh, you're Midli, the one who did it, back and forth. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. So they're just really personal and really friendly.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. Some celebrities were friendly like this.
Yeah. Do anyone have any questions? Comment?
Favorite episode?
Favorite episode?
Oh.
Oh boy, favorite episode. I'm probably gonna have to go with the latest season finale. I'm a big fan of Twilight. I have been since before she became an alicorn. Like Eddie Brony when I came in, I'm like, oh, Fluttershy, I like Fluttershy, and then I'm like, okay, she's really cute, but like, found someone that I actually know. I'm like, I really like, that's the character I like. So Twilight, the fight scene with Twilight, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. When they went they did full on DBZ style fighting with Twilight, I enjoyed the heck out of that. I enjoyed that they had T-Rex. I remember when I saw T-Rex, I had to call Carrie, Elf Pony, at G1 Customizer in Ottawa, and I was like, Carrie, have you seen the latest episode? No. Oh my god, see it, watch it. But I haven't caught up. I'm like, see the freaking last episode. But 2 weeks later, she watched the episode. Oh my god, they did a G1 pony, they did a G1 villain. Oh my god, that's so cool. I'm like, I knew it. I knew you'd like it. But yeah. And the way they tied in the backstory of T-Rex and his brothers, everything about that whole two-parter was just wonderful.
Yes. I came there just before the episode aired. They released the trailer with the name of the villain, and I read this backstory, his G1 backstory, and I was like, if this is gonna be the same backstory in this episode, this is gonna be epic.
Yeah, and I mean, what I was trying to figure out is when I knew it was T-Rex, I was like, okay, how are they going to do this? Because the one in the 80s, T-Rex was Satan. And they were, T-Rex was the pony representation of Satan. The devil.
Slaves.
And so
Pretty
when
much.
I was like T-Rex, and I was like, okay, how are they going to do this? Because back in the 80s, you could get away with a lot of stuff you can't get away with now in 2000s. So I'm like, ugh, how are they going to do it? And they actually struck a balance between making T-Rex Satan and not keeping to the show's current. We can't scare kids like we could in the 80s.
Yeah.
Well,
That
Megan
was
McCarthy
awesome.
made a tweet saying that she couldn't even show Twilight punch
Oh, I love
in the face. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, we had the opportunity to blow up an entire treehouse, and this is the coolest explosion. There could have been injuries and all that stuff that were off screen because I don't know, Brayburn shooting a pony, I think. But no.
I remember that.
Fortunate.
The original script was supposed to have, Twilight punching T-Rex, and we had it written and everything, and then we get there, Hasbro's like, you can't show her punching.
Taser beam down.
You cannot show Twilight punching. I'm like,
Well,
damn
I
it.
Didn't
don't
we
care
see
if
Bunny and
it's
Joel slapping
Yeah.
Fluttershy?
Bunny Angel slap Fluttershy. The ponies have full on, back hoof bucked, bad guys. I'm like, well, that's pretty much punching with their back legs.
Rarity kicked.
in that case, it
I
was
think
more humorous
Yeah.
I think she
than
kicked
all.
Rainbow Dash in Return to Harmony.
Mm-hmm.
A very powerful kick.
Yep.
And they actually held this, but not Twilight punching a dude in the face.
Yeah, I guess because of back legs, it's more horse legs, so they're like, oh, we can show that because that's what horses do, but have a horse raise their front hoof and.
I think there's a lot of bias in the actual guidelines that the stuff that
Oh,
they
yeah.
can allow. Just for example, Dirty Hooves.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they consider her offensive for the fact that she made some mistakes, but she wasn't. Patrick
that-
SpongeBob.
No, that
is worse.
That whole thing, the friggin' people on 4chan managed to convince Hasbro and convince everyone that derpy was a offensive slang for mentally handicapped people, so calling her derpy hooves was a bad idea when that's not what derpy means. That entire situation was a nightmare.
it is still a nightmare. I still receive a
Oh.
lot of comments on my video talking about save Derpy, save Derpy.
Save Derpy, yeah, it's like
Rainbow
guys,
Falls,
guys,
dude.
guys,
Rainbow Falls.
relax. Like, you know, it's done and over with. It's Hasbro. Like,
Yeah.
they gotta do what they gotta do. So. What's your favorite episode?
Twilight Kingdom.
Well,
Yeah,
Oh, okay, so we're
that's
all-
the
Yeah.
universally acclaimed episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm biased towards the fight scene because not only they put the Dragon Ball Z fight scene, but they managed to make it fast-paced and very colorful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they showed a lot of work on that. And
I
yeah,
bet.
they had a lot of passion. They tried something they liked at the very beginning because fight scenes. Who doesn't like fight scenes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they put something they liked, and at the same time they told a very, very natural story about Twilight just worrying about her own story, just worrying about what am I gonna do, what is my purpose in life,
Yeah.
and
It was from
that's something we rarely see
yeah.
in
It was
TV shows like that.
Yeah, that's not something we see outside of dramas and the stuff we see on TVO and something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, just the fact that they put a moral like this in a show for kids is very, very, well, I'm not sure exactly the word, but just, no, just something to be proud of, to just see a crew that is able to do that stuff, and not only they put that moral, but they didn't shoehorn that moral.
Yeah.
They put it in the plot, and they actually managed to put this to make sense for the entire season. Actually, just the fact that Twilight wasn't recognized the princess, and people just thought, okay, just write to her like she was before, but they actually managed to do a story that made sense with her.
Yeah.
And I think that trend is throughout the series where they are able to have a good moral lesson in the episode without it being shoehorned or shoveled like, you know, Dorothy's, "Hola, what did we learn today? Today we learned that you shouldn't punch people because that's bad." And it's like, okay, thanks for just spilling it out, you know.
I could just have taken that sentence and just made a minute or so and kicked out the 21 minutes remaining, and that's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, but to be honest, Dora's a bad example because Dora's meant for kids who are younger. Fiber, no fiber. It's a box. You can just run in, eat you, and steal.
Yeah, well, you just said with for kids and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
There's something very important. Kids are not dumb. They just don't have the knowledge of some stuff that some adults do, and that's the thing that you must do. For example, if you write a TV show for kids, the actual thing is just for, well, not to scare them too much. Okay, you can put this scary episode for Halloween. They won't be mad because that's the point of Halloween. But yeah, they managed to make Lunatics not scary but interesting. But yeah, that's that. You must do something that is interesting and add just some depth to this that they will get later.
Yep.
You need rewatchability, and yeah, when you watch the same episode twice, for example, you just get a joke that you missed the first time, or sometime when the plot is very complex, going back and forth with some events, you just take this event and just place them together in the correct order, and even as a kid, you get it.
Yep.
Sure that some adult jokes won't get through, and I'm perfectly fine with this because
Yeah, well.
I guess the punch has been spiked.
yeah.
Well, the thing is.
I saw that and I was like, you didn't. You did. Hasbro. Oh my goodness. Ugh, wow. What, Y7 rating? I don't think so. Okay.
Nice. So yeah, the thing is, they I think they not only wrote the food for kids, but also for their parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's actually the.
That's
yeah,
exactly
what
actually what
Fidelity do.
Lauren
That's
Faust
Lauren.
said.
Yeah, she said in the.
That's what Lauren Foss want to do.
Yeah,
Because if the
Well, she said simply the parents need to see what their kids are watching, and if the parents just want to leave because it's so pandering, boring, oh, G2. Yeah, the thing is that if the parents can just enjoy this, not only their connection with their kids will grow because they just enjoy something, just the fact that I enjoy the same show with bronies,
Yeah.
I get to know them a lot more, and that connection with between parents and kids can be very powerful and can be a lot of more helpful in the future.
And because of that as well, because the parents get to some enjoyment out of it, it means they can talk about the episode with their kids more and
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
kind of like, you know, every parent can talk to the kid about Dora, but in the back of the parent's mind is probably the rolling the friggin' eyes like, don't want to talk about Dora. Oh my God, I'm done with I'm really harping on Dora the Explorer hardcore. But it's just so easy to do.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, Dora this. But whereas with My Little Pony, they can be like, oh yeah, did you see like that part where, you know, Fluttershy did this or twice? So the adult is actually excited about that, and the kid can see that excitement. So it increases the bond between parent and child. And in this case, with the whole brony culture, it had the side effect of, oh my goodness, there's a bunch of, you know, non-parents that are adults and young adults that like the show, which I'm sure for Hasbro, they're just like, oh, that's good. Yay. So, you know, money.
And another thing, with kids, between girls and boys, having them watching the same show and not fighting over the TV remote because
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
just the fact that they don't fight over something makes them a lot more closer, and the future they just will stay good friends. And well, okay, it's probably just I'm going a bit too far and thinking like this, but if we have a lot more TV shows taking the same concept, we'll have a lot more because the medias have a lot of.
And the other good thing about us liking the show, especially as the guys who like the show, it can have a effect on the younger boys that are watching the show because they're seeing older guys are watching the show, so it's okay for me to watch it. It's kind of cool for me to watch it. And the reason I bring this up is because I actually was wearing a brony t-shirt when I was visiting Ireland. And I had a parent, there was a little girl in the stroller, and there was a little boy, probably about 6, you know, just learning how to walk. Well, like, not just learning how to walk, but, you know, kind of just holding mommy's hand, kind of waddling as like they do at that age. And the father stopped me. Oh, Brony, it's like My Little Pony. I'm like, yeah. Oh, can you come here? And he's talking to his son. He's like, see this guy right here? He likes the show, so it's okay for you to watch My Little Pony too. He's like, you like My Little Pony? I'm like, yeah, I do. And I like it down. I'm like, what's your favorite pony? He's like, I like Rainbow Dash. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Twilight Sparkle's my favorite. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't want to take your time. You could go about, you know, that's what the adult said to me. And then as I'm walking away, I hear the father turn to the kid. I'm like, see, if a cool adult like that guy can like My Little Pony, it's totally fine for you to watch. And I'll hear, yeah, Dad. I'm like, wow, made a kid's day. Perfect. Which is actually good because the day before we were in Ireland, I was wearing the same sweater, Keep Calm and Brony on, and I had three Irish kids tried picking a fight with me over it. Come up to me, oh, F and Brony, eh? Little, you know, FAGGOT, and I'm like, oh my God, is this really happening? They kept going. I'm like, okay, look, I'm twice your size. I'm a foreigner, which means I can beat the crap out of all 3 of you, and the worst that's going to happen, I'm going to get deported. They all backed off. But it was just, to go from that, which is like, oh man, like someone like actually almost getting a fight, what the heck? And then the next day for that to happen was just like, yes, okay, totally fine.
Yeah, well, the thing is, there's still people, well, yes, with the, before the exchange, the public, a little with the parents get thing, but there are still people who think that it's for the same public as the three older generation.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They just either don't know or they're stuck with their own ideas.
Yeah.
The first one is easy to fix. The second one is a lot.
It's
You were talking about kids and just putting the same show that they like as adults, and I just thought fan content. A lot of kids see fan content and they enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, just for Project Thundercloud, I looked at the analytics and I looked at the audience. I got a lot of young girls watching it, and I just thought to myself, okay, this is really the audience I actually got. Luckily, I got the total opposite of the audience that they were expecting. The one I was expecting, the one I got from the show, but I shouldn't be even surprised, or this just, yeah.
You get the
Yeah,
the,
I was
the
expecting
same,
young adults and
you get the same audience as for what we're expecting for the show.
yeah.
Just so you know, you might
Yeah.
want to go
Oh,
on your
no,
phone.
We can go first.
we have more time.
Any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns?
Yeah.
Yes.
And did you actually have to deal with negative reactions?
Yeah, I've had to deal with a lot of them. I have had a guy in a suit when I was traveling around Ottawa tell me that I'm going to amount to nothing, I'm going to be homeless, just based on me wearing a My Little Pony shirt. And I was like, it was stunning, because I'm just like, really? You know nothing about me, and you're seeing I'm wearing a piece of attire, and you're judging my entire existence. Yeah, and then when I told my aunt's first reaction was, oh, that's kind of concerning. People might think you're a pedophile. I'm like, don't worry about it. I had to deal with a lot of. I've had to deal with a lot of stuff through being an admin. People, I make a decision, people don't agree with it, they get upset with me. And then I've also had, there's been like a few incidences. There's also, of course, been online trolls and stuff. The biggest thing though is to kind of let just water off the back, just let it flow off the back. I mean, the biggest thing I can also say is if there's people that are now uncomfortable with using the term brony or being like I'm a brony, there's nothing wrong with being like I'm an MLP FIM fan, because 9 times out of 10 now that's what I use instead of brony, because I personally feel that the name brony has been a bit too tarnished for my liking, especially being in a field of public relations. I kind of just like, oh yeah, I'm a My Little Pony fan, which still kind of like, but it's like I'm a fan of all of this. So there's that option for people who really are uncomfortable with the term brony, and really just try to explain it to them. Like, be like, well, no, it's not this. It's actually got this, this, and this. And if they don't want to listen to you, then be like, okay, you know what? It's not for you. I understand that. I'm totally fine. Now that's among friends and stuff. If it's some random, like the guy on the bus, just laugh. Just be like, or just like, I'm like, really, dude? You're judging my entire existence off a T-shirt. Whoa, buddy, and just walk away. Yeah, that answers the question?
Yep.
Other person?
Best pony.
My favorite ponies are Twilight Sparkle, Vinyl Scratch, and Princess Luna. Twilight Sparkle, because I used to be kind of research-based and into political science. So I definitely like the whole character of the bookworm and all that. Plus, there's just something about Twilight's personality that I'm like, I like that. Vinyl Scratch, because I'm a DJ, obviously, like, yay, Vinyl Scratch. And then Princess Luna, because from being bullied in high school, I guess I understand that whole outcast and then coming back. And just all of that. Plus, there's something about I like Luna's colors and the way like her mane and everything is. I just really like that. I find Celestia's got a cool mane with flowing, but I find she's way too bright for me. So Luna being a bit deeper in shade, I really like the color design. I find that aesthetically nice. Really weird to say, but I'm just like, that color palette, I like it. So, you guys?
Well, my first pony is pretty much the Princess Luna. Because of the color scheme and all that. I am the daughter. Yes. Like, I'm crazy like Pinkie Pie, but somewhat shy like Fluttershy and Derpy. Everyone loves Derpy.
Derpy Hooves, Princess Luna, and Dinky Doo.
Wow.
Okay.
All three of us Princess Luna.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's pretty popular.
Not for the
Anyone
same
else Princess Luna? Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me.
Okay. First of all, Derpy Hooves. She's clumsy. She has her own reasons. We all have our fan theories for that. But just the fact that she's clumsy, but she tries to help, and she has, well, first of all, just look at her. She had just her walleyes gives a lot of personality. She's just a background character, and we got to give a lot of ideas. And she's funny because she makes mistakes, and yeah, we all have our little clumsy moments as well. And we are not here to laugh at her, but we're here to laugh at all the little mistakes that we do, and just the parallel we get. For example, just Dirty when she tried to help with the town hall, and she didn't mean to. She didn't even know what was going wrong, and yeah. She's just a mistake maker that we harm all. Princess Luna, okay, that's a bit darker, but Princess Luna made her beautiful nights that a lot of people didn't appreciate, and that's the same stuff that I feel a lot of people do with, for example, animation. A lot of people just consider animation as a thing that exists and not a thing that you can just like and enjoy and just like turn on, like something you'd like a lot of people more to watch and just to enjoy.
What are your thoughts on Luna as she goes into people's dreams?
She gives a lot and a lot in return, because when she goes inside of people's dreams, she goes there to tell us either a story or to convince them to become better. For example, Scootaloo, when she told her, face your fears in the most frightening way.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of people that I've seen that don't like the Luna characterization of going into her dreams, and it's refreshing to see two people that like me. I'm like, I think it's awesome. I think that adds a depth to Luna's character that's perfect.
And yeah, for Sweetie Belle, the parallel she got with the big sister who outshined. This is something very important. A lot of people have older brothers and sisters that either outshine them or they feel outshine them, and that's very important as a moral as a kid. And the facing your fear is also very important. Luna is the mentor. She's a guide, and she uses dreams as her tool to get to just tell what she tried to tell, and she tries to use metaphors because it works. And I wonder what she's going to do with Elbow Blue, because I have absolutely no idea what she's gonna learn.
On the note of Derpy, I have not found a Derpy fanfiction that I have not liked, and do not take that as a challenge. I swear to God, if I get an inbox like, here's this horrible gore fic with Derpy, I will slap someone. Every Derpy fanfiction I've read, I have been, oh my goodness, this is utterly amazing, especially the ones that tie her with Dinky. The best one by far has definitely been one where Derpy is seen to have a speech impediment and can't really speak properly, and she speaks in really broken sentences, and Dinky gets taken from her by the pony version of Child Protective Services, and then Twilight ends up being the lawyer for Derpy. That entire entire fan fiction was beautiful because it was the whole family being ripped apart, a friend from outside, you know, explaining to everyone that, you know, she's not much different from you and I, she just gets something different, and then, you know, the big reunion. That entire fan fiction was great. One about Derpy, just in general, mail delivery and how Derpy is at the mail room, and none of these fan fiction I can remember the name, I'm very sorry, but every Derpy fan fiction I've loved. There's one, actually no, sorry, there's one that I didn't like, but that was simply because someone said, oh, here's this really hilarious fan fiction. I started reading it and then realized it was an adult fan fiction. I'm like, done. So,
Oh.
yeah.
And to think all of this happened because somebody just made a little mistake that during 5 seconds on 4chan.
Yep.
Yeah. And Nikki do. Okay, she's considered as a fandom as Turkey's daughter or Turkey's little sister or whatever. She's a toy. Hasbro has not made anything about Dinky, not even singing card or anything. Just mentioning her, and that's weird. She's cute. Okay, all the ponies are cute.
Especially the fillet.
Yeah, and you know why fillies are cuter than mares and stallions? It's very stupid, but it's actually with the body shape. If you look, for example, at the screen, look at the proportion between the head and the body. And if you look at the proportion between the head and the human body, it's very different. Somebody in the Big Think made the video asking why babies are cute, and that's exactly the same reason with the head proportion that works. And that's why you find ponies a lot more cuter than horses. And that's why Celestia doesn't look as cute. For Luna, however, I'm not sure exactly as she got different proportion. Is that because we relate her to as somebody a little shorter than Celestia, or is it a base? I don't know, it's just weird. But it's just on the character design because they just, for example, when Yupa announced My Little Pony, they, I saw a comment saying that the person didn't like the stylization of the ponies, saying that it just didn't work. She actually preferred the older ponies.
G1, G2, yes, because there's something that a lot of G1 and G2 people will find about the past generation, because it was a bit more horse-like, whereas this is kind of a cross between anime and ponies. Most people, G3.5 was just a monstrosity to most people.
Popeye legs.
Like that was just
going like this.
Yeah, and I looked at that and I'm like, that just looks weird. And I don't know how you see it as an animator. Like if you see it differently as an animator, and you're like, oh my god, that's horrible. The proportions are wrong. Everything's like really bad. But yeah,
It's horrible.
Yeah. Okay.
But you don't need to be an animator to point that. It just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just 3.75. The Once a Month My Little Pony time, also known as the newborn cuties.
Oh.
Okay, this is a nightmare. I need to say something about this. It was done in Flash, the same software they use in Friendship is Magic. They use the same tool, so they can't blame the tool on that. They just didn't care. The voice actors were terrible, and the animators used tween all over the place.
Well, I mean, G3.5 and 3.75 looked like something that one of the, Newgrounds type people, it looked like Newgrounds animation.
Ouch.
The first time I saw it.
As a Newgrounds animator, I feel offended.
Okay, well, I'm talking about the average.
Even Dust Down looked better.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I know. What I'm talking about is it looked like, 2000 era animation, those funny little flash animations that you showed your friends.
Yeah.
That type of stuff, which I associated coming with Newgrounds.
Almost made with the MS Paint.
Yeah.
Oh. Ew.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But this happened for one reason, not the tools, but and not the budget, but the fact that they didn't care. Because one little fact is that writing doesn't take money; it takes care. You can't just write a script by going by the book and say, okay, I take this because it works and put this here. That's all. If you go with that routine, you're gonna have G3, because G3 not only didn't have any plot that it actually worked, but it didn't have any conflict. You just actually said with the event, okay, I'm not doing anything, and the party just didn't happen. If you want a good example as to the G3, you just take Pinkie Pride. Pinkie Pie makes a party. Okay, if you take this as a plot for G3, it's pretty much what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
They actually managed to make a conflict out of it, to make something with a good lesson, and to put Weird Al.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We put word on.
Yeah, but even without Weird Al, this episode is flawless.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I have to go. I will be back for the reunion de fans. So I will be back for that, but I need to go and do some staff stuff and get ready to depart for Ottawa. So.
Okay.
Bonne journée. These are the people, and they will also are going to show you some awesome Flash animation.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you back for Yep.
So, do we continue the metal cloning panel right here, or we just go to Project Thundercloud II?
Well,
What time is
So I get that you talk English, you speak Midli here.
Yeah, because
Mais là, on
we're
est tout
filming.
en...
Ouais, on pourrait revenir en français.
Okay.
Moi, je dirais que tu devrais montrer ton film, suivre l'horaire, peut-être
Okay,
prendre
so
une pause de
we're
5
gonna
minutes.
Cut this video right now.
Get the video.